Africa is home to 5 of the top 30 oil-producing countries in the world and several top gas-producing nations. Hence, member states must take advantage of Africa's precious resources in the long term in order to meet the required fuel demand.
Principal Secretary in the Ministry, Dorcas Dlamini, explained the importance of the meeting.
This shows how, as member states, we value the IOC objective enshrined in the IOC terms of reference, which is to maintain a close liaison and to make recommendations to governments regarding aspects of petroleum products, including security of supply, storage, distribution, and policy-related matters amongst the SACU countries.
Day 2 of the meeting will see government officials from the member states meeting and deliberating on resolutions taken during Day 1. For Eswatini TV News, Temgosi Mavimbela with Skumbuzo Dlamini, Mbabane.
The Ministry of Education and Training Acting Minister Harry Siblunga has officially launched the School Peace Clubs Festival on Justice and Peace. Speaking during the event, Blunga says the ministry is concerned by the escalating forms of violence in schools.
The Minister of Education and Training, Lady Howard, was represented by the Minister of Sports, Culture and Youth Affairs, Harry Siblunga, during the launch of the School Peace Clubs Festival on Justice and Peace 2022. The minister says gripping with very difficult times caused by COVID-19 pandemic and political unrest, which have both impacted negatively the education sector, as schools personnel and learners have been under attack by these two programs, thus creating fear and resentment amongst all stakeholders. Bolunga says the closing of the schools due to COVID-19 and social unrest has resulted to many challenges in schools.
The education sector is also struggling with the ever-escalating cases of all forms of violence. Particularly at schools, we see aspects of bullying, cyberbullying through social media, corporal punishment, and even sexual violence. The civil unrest has exacerbated the levels of violence in schools. Hence, there is a need for schools to inculcate a culture of peace, tolerance, and non-violent ways of solving issues.
Father Tablamazo Nchangasa, speaking on behalf of Diocese of Manzini Bishop, says there is no peace without justice.
The Catholic Church in Eswatini acknowledges with gratitude the partnership she has with the government in the development and formation of a child through schools. And if then today's event is toward ending discrimination, violence in pursuit for genuine peace.
Catholic Commission for Justice and Peace Director Goodwill Tabete says the program hopes to bring peace in schools without using any form of violence.
The Peace Club members can influence their peers to participate in activities that promote the appreciation of peace, tolerance, and national unity. And this is going to be achieved through members helping their colleagues to resolve conflicts, members also helping their colleagues to resolve conflicts non-violently.
The minister says closure of schools in the past years due to COVID-19 and social unrest resulted in unintended teenage pregnancy, child labor, among other things. The minister encourages the girl child to stand up for their future. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla with Smova Shongwe and Josephs.
The Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Dr. Simon Zwane, says they had to book all rooms in different hotels to accommodate health workers and patients when the country was still battling with COVID-19. Dr. Zwane says they could not use some hotels because owners wanted an amount as high as 2 million in upfront payment, while others wanted government to buy equipment such as stoves. Dr. Zwane said these when his ministry and the Deputy Prime Minister's office appeared before the Public Accounts Committee on Wednesday.
The Deputy Prime Minister's office appeared before the Public Accounts Committee once again on Wednesday after being turned back last week for having unsatisfactory responses to audit queries. The DPM's office brought along Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Dr. Simon Zwane, who assisted in responding to questions relating to the use of COVID-19 funds.
Lamanye amahhotela lengeke ngiwasho ngamagama sinike 2 million ukuze kusizocala ukukusida upfront. Kukhanye ke ukuthi ngeke kwendeke into le kanjalo. Labanye bathi bayakuba bathi yathi thina side indzawo yekuphekela na ungasifakela nje itofu nako konke singakunika lolusito. Ngileso simo ke sasikhona ngaleso sikhathi. Kwaba nelihotela lelila kuthiwa kuse Bethel Court. Lona alizange lavala. At the time besine staff saka EPR mostly silala emabhenjini lapha kumalagwana, literally emabhenjini. Sathi ke cha lokho ke akusibo buntu. Sahamba saya eBethel Court sabafaka khona. Sathi nje siletha abantu labangaka sitobafaka, is it possible? But eBethel Court possible. Sase siyacala ke sakha sivumelwane sokusebenza nabo. We had to repurpose staff from other regions. Isabamikisa eStegi. Stabalalisa phikela abantu. Saya eStegi Hotel. Wathi iStegi Hotel cha mina nganisida. Kodwa ke kunisida kwami nayi condition. Ngiyalivala lelo hotela ukuthi lisetshenziswe ngilomnye umuntu. You will compensate me for that. Le contract lesayisayina nabo isho njalo.
The committee had its take.
We are trying to separate emotion from the issue. Ukuthi lesikuthola ngala lesimo lebese likhuni sibhekene nelive singavuleli ukuthi bese tinto letinyatsa azikakhona kuhlangana kahle.
Auditor General ukhala ngako ukuthi the list itself lokwakubhadalwa ngayo was not authentic in that wawufica ukuthi i-provide nglo service provide le list and i-type but bese kuba nema handwritten editions kubhalwe ngesandla bese kuhamba kuvele kusetshenziswe yona and at times the list itself was never signed.
Kukhona emahotela lana la ku proximity of each other of less than 5 kilometers. Siyade ukuthi bekusimo se COVID. How did that happen? Because lawa they are so close together. Yet lalamanye as mhlambe it's understandable labo Stegi bo Spiki but laba they are centrally located.
At the time of compiling this report, the committee was still deliberating on the matter. For Eswatini TV News, Temgosima Vimbela with Skumbuzo Dlamini, Parliament.
The Ministry of Labour and Social Services announced officially the new Conciliation, Mediation and Arbitration Commission Board effective on the 21st of September 2022. Makosini Mdawe, who is the Labour and Social Services Principal Secretary, says the new board should prioritize decentralizing CIMAC services to Tinkhundla centres.
The new Conciliation, Mediation and Arbitration Commission Board that has been announced by the Principal Secretary to the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, Makosini Mdawe, consists of 66% members from the previous board and has introduced 3 new members representing both employer organizations and special skills category. Mdawe says the ministry has retained 66% of the previous board members to assure continuity. Mdawe then highlighted some key tasks that the board should prioritize.
The shareholder compact, the SBL, the review of the strategic plan and its approval. It's corner already. Kwesathu lesikhathi lexima kwendeke kaSIMAC is to identify indlela, alternative ways to make SIMAC a sustainable organization. Okay, indvuna icela ukuthi badlalo nisangena nikuthola indlela ukuthi singarely kakhulu kuhulumende for ma subventions all the time. Akube nendlela lenye lesigenerate ngayo income ye organization. Sinhulumende wetinkhundla ke benene It is a decentralization nje ngito letingudla. Asimakho ke umsebenzi wenu board is to ensure ukuthi we decentralize as far as possible. Bantu bakhona kuma-accessa in all of the different tingudla areas.
The chairperson for the Conciliation, Mediation and Arbitration Commission Board, Mzwandile Dlamini, says they take seriously the task of assuring CIMAC's financial sustainability through complementing government subvention with alternative sources of income.
Financial arbitrations are other spaces at which we can be able to make money as an organization and then be able to spread our influence in terms of labor relations. And I think it's no secret government resources have been dwindling for some time. As an organization, we need to ensure to ensure to we've been seeing good things PS sibona simakenda indlela to raise them funds, holding trainings, holding seminars, and I think that should be the business of the day to ensure in order to ensure that we are a financially sustainable organization.
The new board was also tasked to contribute to the reduction of the industrial court case backlog. Sifiso Ngumalo for Eswatini TV News in Babane.
Auditor General Timothy Matsebula has requested the Public Accounts Committee to assist his office in having a legislation that will make it more effective. Matsebula says these will help in working with financial institutions, including the Central Bank of Eswatini, to establish who are signatories to companies that do business with the government and know whether they are civil servants or not. Government standing orders do not allow civil servants to do business with government.
Government standing orders prohibit civil servants from dealing in business with government. It was on this premise that members of the Public Accounts Committee asked about a certain hotel's ownership, as it was used to accommodate health officials during the COVID-19 pandemic. Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Dr. Simon Zwane, responded.
Ngingavuma kwekuthi tiketa abakhona tinkulumo letinjalo sibudwa indlu yabayesikhulu ngaloko. Sahlola lebo form J sakhanza ukuthi cha kude lo sebenze mbutho lo khona khona. Singaphinde sibele sohlola che namanje sibuye ukuthi sikhona nisibesebenze mbuso lesi owner hotel.
Some committee members contributed.
Ngaba khona ukuthi uyati ukuthi kumbe lo hotel akunene kalimine sengaresign ngafaka lo mnye form J futhi esinye isikhathi ngaba la but mangabe nga implicate kubo form J akusithi umuntu lokuthi wena uyati lokuthi la but lokusebenza ngomthetho
kuyendeka lo muntu a resign aphumele kuma companies kepha na le bhange asale solo anguye le director akhondwa netimali. Ngiyo le information base ayisaphelele kutawuvela umuntu ngathi akasiye director kanti le bhange unguye umuntu atole company sihlalo nje nabangakhona ukuthi ningibambise sihlalo nowuvule lo mthetho nimnike order generally emadini ngifike le accounting ebantu bengebe ngiyanibuyisela ukuthi kunako lokungekho but Central Bank ayikhona kusebenta imbambise uhulumende bantu bangabi ma civil servant basapply uhulumende ngal batiphume ngalapha temabhange solongepho.
The committee has said it before that it also wants to amend fines paid by those who do not obey its instructions. For Eswatini TV News, Temgosi Mavimbela with Skumbuzo Dlamini, Parliament.
The Ministry of Home Affairs wishes to notify the public that there is a service disruption in all their service centers countrywide as a result of a network blackout. However, technicians are attending to the issue and the nation will be notified once operations have resumed. An inconvenience caused is deeply regretted. The statement is from the Office of the Communications Officer in the Ministry of Home Affairs. The Ministry of Education and Training says it is not aware of calls to close schools on Thursday the 22nd and Friday the 23rd of September 2022. Therefore, teachers are all expected to be at school and schools are expected to operate normally during these 2 days. This announcement is by the Ministry of Education and Training. Clinical psychologist from the Psychiatric Center, Dr. Petroleum, says every week the institution attends to at least one suicidal person. Dr. Sugati said this when the institution commemorates Suicide Awareness Month.
September is Suicide Prevention Month worldwide. The National Psychiatric Referral Hospital in Eswatini commemorated this by engaging psychologist students from the University of Eswatini. The institution's psychologist Dr. Petroleum says committing suicide starts with a thought followed by an attempt.
Njengalapha esibhekela nje sengingaveda ukuthi alipheli liviki singakaboni umuntu lonemicabango efuna ukutibulala noma lokho wazama ukutibulala. So meaning ukuthi inkinga lesibhekene nayo silive leMaswati. Nawubuka ireport ya WHO la ikhokhe last year ithi Eswatini sing number 3 in the whole world. See itim lesisi we are creating hope through action. So itim leto hamba for the next 3 years. So sinasisi we are creating hope through action sithi asivete ngetendo lesitendako so that we can try and sisuse nale stigma when coming to timvota suicide, because stigma ngiso lesenda ukuthi abantu bafike esigabeni sokuthi besabe nekuthola usizo, bafike esigabeni sokuthi besabe nokuthi bakhulume ukuthi banemicabango ekufuna ukutibulala.
Psychology student from the University of Eswatini, Mtobis Changase, says most people who end up committing suicide are males. He encourages males to talk or seek advice from their friends or close family members.
As umuntu, especially umuntu wesilisa, leyo khanze ukuthi kube likhona ukukhulumisana labanye abantu ngetinkinga lobhekene nazo. Siyakhuthaza kuso sive seMaswati ukuthi singasabi kuyofuna lusito lihlale likhona. Beyond kuma health institutions, asingesabi isibantu besilisa ukukhulumisana nalabo lesetfute nabo, kungaba imindeni yethu, kungaba abangani bethu, nanoma ngangibanje lesetfute naye siconnected fulula kuye, because ngalesikhathi ukhuluma kunesikhathi ukhipha le burden la kuwe.
People who have a thought to commit suicide are encouraged to seek help from any health facility. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla, Wisfiso Ngumalo Manzini.
Right now, let's see how markets perform today in our financial report.
It can be.
Welcome back. You're still with the news bulletin at 8 at Eswatini TV. Thank you so much indeed for choosing to stay with us. And now for our sports news. The Under-23 national team continues with their preparations for the first leg of the Under-23 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers against Botswana this coming Friday on home soil. Team head coach Sfiso Nurentibane says their preparations are at an advanced stage and they are ready for the match come Friday. Dibane was speaking during the team's training session at Somhlolo National Stadium.
We're here at Somhlolo National Stadium where the national team under-23 are in hard preparations for the AFCON qualifiers for the under-23 to be held in Morocco next year. They're in hard training behind me at Somhlolo National Stadium, preparing for their game against Botswana this coming Friday, where they need a win. This will be the first round here at home before the second round in Francistown, Botswana next week. Head coach Sifiso Nurondibane believes the squad that he has got here of 20 players have got what it takes to give us a win as a country this coming Friday here at Somhlolo National Stadium.
It's not Gwake only, it's Gwake and Tiger. They are currently from the senior national team. That is what development is all about. Having young boys going to the senior team and then come back, and also it boosts their confidence and it will also boost the other boys, and they are also leaders in our team. Gwake is the captain, Tiger is assisting him, so they are motivating the boys and they are leading the team in the field of play. Time in football can never be enough. You prepare up until the last minute, so I cannot complain about time. The time that we got, we've done quality.
Team captain Gwake Mtsetwa has been in previous games been exposed to the national team Sihlangu Semnegati. He is now the leader of this young talented squad of 23 players. Msetwa believes the exposure that he got at the national team level, where he played at different games like COSAFA, he believes there is an added advantage for the team to learn a lot from him. But he believes this is a stage where a lot is done in terms of winning for the country. The reports we're getting is that Botswana has already landed in the Kingdom of Eswatini for the game on Friday. They'll also get a chance to train here at Somhloro National Stadium on Thursday, tomorrow, at around same time, 3 p.m., where they will get the feel of the pitch before the clash on Friday here at Somhloro National Stadium from 3 p.m. in the afternoon. The return match between the two nations will be next week on the 27th of September this year in Francistown, Botswana. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabrice Msonera with Muzim Konda, Somhloro National Stadium, Lobamba.
With those sports news, we've hit the home stretch of our news bulletin at 8 at Eswatini TV. But before we go, here's a quick reminder of our top stories tonight. The Acting Minister of Natural Resources and Energy, Jabulani Mabuza, says the top 30 oil-producing companies are in Africa. The Acting Minister in the Ministry of Education, Harry Siblunga, has officially launched the School Peace Clubs Festival on Justice and Peace. And the Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Dr. Simon Zwane, says they had to book all rooms in different hotels to accommodate health workers and patients when the country was still battling with COVID-19. Beautiful Kingdom of Eswatini, we have come to the conclusion of our news bulletin at 8 at Eswatini TV. We shall now cross over to the Weather Center for a detailed weather report from us and the rest of the crew at Eswatini TV. For now, it's good night and God bless.